Hey, everybody. Welcome to Toys We're Talking About, where I sit down virtually with toy designers and talk about toys. And today I've got NECA's brand manager, Blaine Rodenbaugh. Say hi.
Hi. Hello, hello.
We're here specifically to talk about this icon. It's all washed out due to my light, but
And my
oh,
light is super dim, so there you go.
there we go. In between the two, and then,
All right.
yeah, the Over the Rainbow version of Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, NECA 8-inch cloth figure. That's a
Yes.
mouthful. Just in time for Pride Month, for those of you out there celebrating, this thing dropped. Like I got mine like May 30th. And I
Nice. Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, it's we put it up on the necastore.com I believe halfway through May to
Mhm.
make sure that it would be in hands for Pride Month. They are offered to other retailers as well, so you might be able to see them in stores, you might be able to get them online. But the necastore.com was the first place that we placed them and the first place that shipped. And I'm sure we'll get into why that is, but
Sure. But I do want to point out that unlike a bunch of the other releases for Monster Mayhem, which were all like, look, here's an announcement, or it's an announcement, you can pre-order it, and it comes out in like October. This was like, hey, not just pre-orders, like orders. Order literally the day we dropped. You'll get it in like a week or two. It's nuts.
mm-hmm.
And sometimes, like, I mean, I don't want to sit here and look at a NECA person, say sometimes things leak, but like that Prey figure, uh,
The Bear Blood.
yeah, I mean, the internet, we all found out about it a lot sooner than probably intended because people were putting it on NECA shelves weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks before they were supposed to. But I didn't hear a fucking peep about this Elvira figure. It was just like, boom.
Awesome.
Yeah, well
I
done.
I did something right. Which is wild because we almost had this released for last Pride.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I've been developing this for almost 2 years now. And it just was too close. As you said, a lot of the things that we put up during our Monster Mayhem event are pre-ordered. Um, and that was super important to me and to obviously everyone to have it in hand for Pride Month. And had we done it last June, it would have been a pre-order and you wouldn't have gotten it until probably closer to Comic-Con time. So we just
Oh,
paused and said,
but that
let's wait.
delay allows you to plan in advance so that when you release it, you can get it beginning of June, which is
Yeah.
no offense to July, but it's not the month that would make this.
Not nearly as fun,
Yeah, the rainbow outfit.
colorful.
Yeah. Now let me ask you something. Did it change between what was planned a year ago versus this year?
Um,
Did it give you time
an
to tweak
accessory
anything?
was added.
Okay.
An accessory was added, an accessory was removed,
Ooh.
and we now have the face plates. So yeah,
Ah,
there were a few tweaks, yes.
was this added?
Yes, that was the addition that took the place of another accessory, and that came from Cassandra's side. So that came from the Elvira side. And they got the idea looking at um, Lego flags
Oh,
because Lego flags are plastic and they come with a sticker. You put your own decal on when you're doing a Lego build. Uh, and they just were like, oh, um, this would be a way to change the pride flags because I originally was thinking like a soft good flag, like a real fabric flag, but we would have only been able to afford one, and of course we would have just gone with the current kind of all-inclusive pride flag. But this was a really great way to get a couple of different stickers in there and be able to allow people to express their own pride with that accessory. And it's a fairly easy shape to read. It's just a rectangle. So if you want to recreate and you know, happen to identify with a flag that's not included, you can of course always print and glue your own.
Oh, that's cool too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I live in a pretty what I consider a pretty cool city that has, look at that sheet. I'm gonna put the thing on you for a second here.
That's the sticker pack it comes with.
The city I live in is pretty cool. They've got pride flags going down several streets. I'm like, right on. But the flags have also like a yellow thing with a circle inside of it. And I went, oh, I don't know that one. Time for me to go educate myself with a
Yeah, I think that's just the current updated one.
right. The one that probably, if I had to, I only recently saw LGBTQIA PD plus. So I wonder if the added letters, which apparently have been around for a little while, but I only saw them recently. I don't know, but yeah, I'm just saying hypothetically, if you were someone out there who wanted the PD plus with the yellow and the circle, you could print your own and do that, like my cool city did. But the figure itself, um, let me ask you where I always want to know, where does it start? Whose idea? Where does the seed begin?
So this one started with actually her book, her memoir, Yours Cruelly, Elvira. This is her autobiography that came out in 2021, 22. Gosh, I don't even know now. So it was released for Elvira's 40th anniversary, which coincidentally also happened the same month as Cassandra Peterson's 70th birthday, which also coincided with the release of our first figure.
Ah.
So when the book came out, I of course had it on pre-order and went to get it immediately and read it immediately. And I don't know how much into this you want to go, but it started with reading the book, and in her book she comes out of the closet. So that was her way of coming out to the world, was just releasing her book and allowing people to read it for themselves. So I found out with the rest of the world, and I just really, so many different things about the book spoke to me. And of course she was talking about her life, and then she was talking about her career as Elvira, which, if you have not read the book, wild life Cassandra's lived. Like, she's lived 20 lives. She's lived. So in reading it, not only is the character of Elvira from Mistress of the Dark from Kansas, but Cassandra Peterson herself is from Kansas. And I thought it was such a fun opportunity to, as Elvira, the character, does, and as my own humor does, have a little fun with play on words and make it a little punny. And from Kansas to coming out over the rainbow, like the Wizard of Oz. And then in finishing her book, finding out that when she wrote Mistress of the Dark, she used the Wizard of Oz template, right? The Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland, Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, these kind of classic stories that have the main character being swept away from their home, going on this journey, overcoming obstacles, finding out they're the ones with the power, and then eventually getting back to their goal. So she compared Mistress of the Dark to the Wizard of Oz, and one of her closing monologues in the film was based on the closing monologue to what Judy Garland's Dorothy Gale said at the end of The Wizard of Oz, 1938. Completely coincidentally, because I did not know this until her book came out, completely coincidentally, that closing monologue in The Wizard of Oz was my senior quote in my yearbook. So just all the fun parallels of me and Elvira, and how much I love the character. In reading that, I was like, oh, this has to happen. And then on on top of that, being a queer person myself, I really wanted to create Pride merchandise that fit the brand. I didn't want to just slap a rainbow on anything. So I wanted to find a place where it fit the brand. And I wanted to, not to say that other companies don't do this, but there are some that don't. Um, I wanted to create something Pride that not only fit the brand, but also gave back to the community. I didn't want, again, to just slap a rainbow on something and say, yay, we're celebrating Pride. I wanted to make sure that if we did develop something, that it would somehow benefit the LGBTQ plus community. And here we are. I did it.
So the what is it, like a portion of the ORT proceeds? I don't know, but they're going to the human rights campaign, right?
Human rights campaign, yeah. So
And that's all. So that was kind of an inkling you had.
yes.
Bravo.
And when I pitched it, when I pitched this entire crazy idea to Cassandra, that was the big thing for her too, which was wonderful. And she had actually said it as I'm doing this whole pitch. She's like, "Oh, are we gonna donate? Are we going to like give back?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so happy you said that." So I got to the end of my pitch, talked about wanting to donate proceeds of this to an organization. We went through kind of a short list of organizations that I knew, that she knew. She last year became a large donor to the Human Rights Campaign Foundation. So that was such an easy shoe in, and they are such big Elvira fans. And they were a pleasure to work with. So I'm really happy that, I mean, any of them would have been wonderful, but I'm really happy that we landed with HRC. They've been fantastic.
Right on. I am glad that you brought up the slapping a rainbow on things. Only because when this was even first announced, I thought, oh, cool. And that's coming out for Pride. And that makes so much sense because like Elvira, oh, it's a rainbow outfit. And I thought to myself, oh, they didn't just take the xenomorph and go, it's rainbow.
Right.
We didn't take Michael Myers and just put him in like a rainbow outfit. I'm like, oh, but it's Cassandra and it's Elvira and it makes sense. And she's even if she hadn't come out, she's already like a gay icon. Like there's so many things that it fit. And I thought like that's
she's
cool.
A drag queen.
But there's like there's some, no offense to like other companies, but like you can go to like Walmart and get just like rainbow tumblers, rainbow shirts, rainbow Cheez-Its, rainbow whatever, and then they're gonna go away in July. But it and even though this is a rainbow themed product, it immediately didn't feel like just corporate put a bird on it like sort of thing.
Yeah. And
well, there's a story behind it, and that's what I like.
It's storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
It's Elvira. The character's so campy and kitschy, and this is totally something that the character would do. You've seen her dressed as Santa. She recreated the Tootsie movie poster when she did the red sequin dress in front of the American flag, which we based the red, white, and boo, red, fright, and boo figure off of. So this is just a really fun opportunity to do something different for Elvira, but continue the character on. Obviously Cassandra doesn't make appearances as Elvira in the last few years, but the Elvira character lives on not only through merchandising, but also through media. She has a continuing comic book going with Dynamite. And I just thought this was a really fun opportunity to somehow keep the character alive. And if the character is allowed to continue to evolve throughout life, many of the attributes of the character Elvira were parallel to Cassandra because she was the creator of the character, and she wove her own personality and her own life into this character. So how would the character continue to evolve and live on? And this is such a fun way. And it's not even to say that the character of Elvira would have steered into the direction of becoming queer. But the character, as you mentioned earlier, has been a gay icon for decades. So this is completely on par with what she would do. She's done pride parades, many in her life. She does pride merch through her direct Elvira's boutique, with rainbows all over it. So, yeah, despite what some people would love to think, this is incredibly on brand for her. And it was really great to pitch it to her and have collaborative feedback, work with her on it. And yeah, just allow the character to have the type of fun she's always had. She's done entire calendars
Oh
where
yeah,
she dresses in different.
that's the thing.
different outfits.
Again, she's done so many different like campaigns, calendars in fun themed outfits. Obviously, like the Red Fright and Boo. So like when I saw this, I thought, oh yeah, that is something that Elvira would totally wear. Maybe not necessarily host a show and do a whole episode in, or maybe not. I don't fucking know as time went on. But when I saw it, just compared to like other sort of, ads, campaigns, and whatever, I thought this is something Elvira would totally wear for something.
Yeah.
Which is why, and I don't want to give, too much time or credit to anything, but like when I saw some naysayers, going, oh, she wouldn't wear that. I'm like, the fuck she would. Like,
Right.
do you not know who Elvira is? Do you like
Right.
have an idea of like the Bud Light ads from the 80s or something? Like this is so on brand. So on brand. I loved it instantly. And then the fact that some were perplexed by it, I'm like, clearly you don't know who Cassandra is or anything about what this character would do or represent. So that's all I'll say about that. Makes total sense. I got it instantly. Surprised that others didn't. Let's put it that way. And while we're talking about her outfit, can I just say the red ruby slippers were a nice touch.
Yeah. And again, with the storytelling, I really wanted to lean into the Wizard of Oz aspect of it because it was such a large inspiration. So you have the figure base, which is a yellow brick road with her signature. And I just thought this was really fun. We did this kind of glitter ruby on the ultimate Billy accessory in the jigsaw from Saw.
Yeah.
And it works so well. We were doing the red heels, same as the Red Fright and Boo. And when I saw that, I said, oh my gosh, can we make them glittery like the Wizard of Oz? And one of our product development, Stefan, who works on our product development, was like, yeah, we could absolutely do it, and sent a sample from the factory. And I was like, yes, like day one. I was like, it's perfect. Yes. And we used the same belt from Red Fright and Boo because it works so well with the heels.
And that belt style is the same as the black belt style. It just doesn't hold a knife, but it's her belt.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. Same as with Red Fright and Boo. And that was what her red sequin dress did look like. It was the same cut of belt, just without the dagger holster.
So book comes out. You've already made the first 8-inch figure. While you're doing the Christmas and the like 4th of July one, in your head, are you still going like, oh, pride figure, Over the Rainbow? Like, is it just cooking there for like 2 years?
Yeah, the pride figure was actually pitched before the Santa figure.
Wow.
Yeah. I do hold decks with her, so I hope she doesn't get overwhelmed. She seems to like it, but I go a little excessive. I go a little overboard when it comes to Elvira. We will have like deck meetings. We'll have like pitch meetings, and I will have a whole PowerPoint, and I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it, like, whatever sticks, it sticks. So I pitch 5 to 10 ideas, and she tells me what she likes and what we can pass on. So yeah, this was an early on one, and then the Santa one came later, and we really wanted to hit holiday, and it was just so fun. And I'm sure I've talked about it before, but one of my friends produced her second movie macabre series, and the episode where she dresses as Santa has the little creature who was stirring. And my friend Ted Biaselli, he actually puppeteered, voiced,
That's
and
cool.
made that creature. So that was really neat to, I guess, work with him in a way, but hit him up and be like, "We're doing the Santa Elvira, um, and you were in an episode. Do you want a figure made of yourself?" Essentially. So that was really neat too.
That's the dream question for any, I expect, any nerd
Yeah,
slash
yeah, right.
creator and who has respect for toys.
Hmm.
Um, one of the things you mentioned before that I really want to get into is that when you first conceived this was before the face swap technology was in play. But I think it
Yes.
started with one of the gargoyles, right?
So
Forget where it
it
started.
was first for the the beginning of the development of this started before we decided to switch to faceplates for Elvira. We had done them in gargoyles, Lily Munster at that point, and even Ghostface in development
Yeah.
was getting the faceplate treatment. So we had already been gearing toward that, and we had even had some faceplates by the time Red Fright and Boo came out, and she still had full alternate head for Red Fright and Boo, and this Pride one is the first one that utilizes faceplate technology. And not to worry, you're going to be able to hopefully go back and get the other Elviras that have been out with faceplate, and if you can't, then you can simply just pop the head off, put this one on. It'll have the same neck peg,
Yeah.
has the same hair sculpt, but now with the face plates. So you are saving a lot of room by having minimal amounts of heads. You'll just get one full head beehive wig with each figure, and you'll get whatever faceplates come with them. So you can alternate, and it makes it much easier when you want to switch expressions through the different figures as well.
Yeah. Because if I'm not mistaken, the like the surprised face, again, my light's washing it out. That face is new for these series, right?
Yes. So Over
'Cause-
the Rainbow Elvira is the first Elvira to have her classic shocked face along with her shocked hands. So you're getting that very iconic, everybody knows it, Elvira pose. And in the Over the Rainbow figure, yeah, it's the first time you're getting that expression and those hands.
which I gotta say is probably my favorite thing about this figure. But like I already saw someone on Instagram that put the face on, but popped the head off and put it on their classic Elvira figure.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy that those heads are all compatible because
Yes.
people are already on it.
Yes. Um, and that's I give it to Stefan. He really kind of hit the ground running with the whole faceplate thing, and it works. I had first seen it in Bandai's SH Figure Arts with the my Sailor Moon action figures. So the technology has been there, but US based companies really don't utilize it for figures. And I think technically the first toe dip into it was with the Turtles in Disguise in our TMNT line. And it's not so much a faceplate, but the turtles, the bottom half, and then the bandana up
Mm.
are swappable. So you can have angry eyes, surprised eyes, open mouth, closed mouth, smiling, whatever. You can kind of mix and match. Once that was a success, it was kind of a no-brainer. Why are we not doing faceplates for especially things with big hair? It just takes up a lot of space in the packaging. It's money, and there are times where we could fit other things in there. So
If I'm not mistaken, I think I've seen it once before and it was the most random place. Uh, I have to look up to see if I'm remembering this correctly. There was a Black Series figure of a Hoth Trooper, and the Hoth Trooper's face could pop off because, again, like the hat and like the the fabric that goes over their face, the backpack, they didn't even tell you, but if you took the backpack off and opened up a little thing, there was a switchable face.
Yeah.
So for like army builders, it wasn't. And I'm like, Hasbro, where did this come from? Good
All
job,
right.
Hasbro. And I don't
Yeah.
really think they've done
Rebel
it
Hawk
again
Trooper.
since. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I got to say too about this. Ghostface was really easy to swap. I looked at this and I saw the bangs, and I'm like, I hope this isn't gonna be a problem. I have to like angle it and swap or scoop it. And the first time I swapped it was just in my review on camera for the first time. It popped right out real easy, slid right in real easy. I'm like, well, that was nothing. Awesome. So good job. Because I look at this and I look at those bangs and I feel like it's going to be a problem, and it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty easy to you know, at the chin, if you pop it out and it just slides. Um and a fun little thing that I did not notice until we got our last test sample. This is not official. However, Stefan gave me a little surprise in doing the face plates. I had done this fan art because you mentioned Ghostface, and they're like my two favorite things. I had done this fan art where Elvira was standing there with her pose with the ghost face, like wearing a ghost face mask. The faceplate pegs for Ghostface and Elvira are identical. So you could technically cross brand and have Elvira wearing a ghost face. I don't know if I have one. Oh, I do. I have the pride mask right here.
Yeah, me too.
So you can pop out Elvira's faceplate and you can have her wearing a ghost face mask. So just really fun. Just a fun little thing.
Oh my gosh. I have my head looking down, so I have to like really jam this into the forehead, but I'll do it more later. Oh, you already changed yours out.
I did, sorry.
That's all good. Although
That's the queen.
one thing I am noticing, now I'm just devolving into like, two grown men playing with toys on camera. But I thought you were gonna say, and I'm gonna try this out for myself, that the grip hands can kind of grip the mask.
I did do that in a picture on my Instagram for Pride. I did a little heart is queer post, and yeah, the
Yeah.
hand that also holds the flag holds.
Yeah, okay, so you can hold it from the chin, Mike can hold it from the side. Like you
Oh
can,
yeah,
there are
look at
options.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about the surprise face or the shocked face, whatever you want to call it, is that it's so iconic. Yeah, I'm glad they included it, but I mean, the winky face also has been there from the beginning too. So like, I get why the previous three had the winky face,
Mm-hmm.
but I just got so flipping excited that I'm like, oh my god, like why didn't it even occur to me before? The hands and the mouth and the face, because even before NECA, there was the Amok Time figure, and that was just you bought one of two figures. It wasn't even two different heads, and one was like kind of like the standard, like the neutral face,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's an alternate one that was smiling and winking. Even Amok Time didn't immediately default to that, but once you see it, it's amazing. And even just, I don't know, double jointed elbows, the shoulders, and then the wrists really allow you to get. There
Yeah,
isn't some
you
weird
can.
thing where like, well, we're at 90-degree angles and the hands really hover. They get
Yeah.
right up here
Yep.
and they look natural.
Yep.
And part of it's because the wrists hinge side to side, not up and down.
Yeah, and like you said, it's the double jointed
Yep.
elbows. We've got a bicep swivel, which also helps. Not all our ultimates have bicep swivels. So yeah, just and the sculptors did such a fantastic job on both the hands. Adrian and Trevor, I don't know who sculpted which, but they tag team and work on things together. And I believe it was Trevor Grove that did the new hands and expression. But Adrian Smith and Trevor Grove are absolutely fantastic, and they've worked on all the Elvira. Sarah Martyr has worked on Elvira doing the tailoring, which was really great. That's another fun thing about this is I got to design an original Elvira dress. So
That's like
that's
bragging
forever.
rights for life.
That's forever. That's that was like a lifetime goal. And I don't think Cassandra Peterson will wear it, but like I said, the character Elvira lives on through various other medias. So I'm just really happy that the character, excuse me,
Bless you.
really happy that the character, that this is now canon for the character, and I designed it. And it's really
I
cool.
love the idea of like you being that meme of like the old lady. Like, I designed an Elvira dress once. Okay, that's great, Blaine. Let's get you back home.
It's totally gonna be me. It
But
is.
you did, and that's I mean, we should have led with this in the beginning, but I'm sure everyone who's watching, listening now has figured out you're a big fan.
I'm
So
a big fan.
so you even getting to end up at this company where this opportunity presents itself to you, let alone to meet her once and pitch many times. Like, come on, it's got to be amazing. I'm sure there was like, when you were saying that you were pitching other ideas, my brain went somewhere stupid like Cowboy Elvira, Astronaut Elvira, Elvira goes Hawaiian, and she's like, no.
There, there's not much that she says no to, and I'm gonna take pride, all pun intended. I'm gonna take pride in that, because she's an artist and she's the creator of this character. So no one knows the character like she does, and she has written for this character. When we say she created it, she didn't just dress in drag and call it a day. She wrote this character. She writes her jokes. She's involved in the process of making her merchandise. So to pitch her ideas and her say like, oh yeah, that's something Elvira would do, or that's on brand, is really, really, really wonderful as
To
a
get
fan.
that seal of approval on something that
Yeah.
started here.
Yeah. So she doesn't say no to much. Usually it's that things take precedence. It's not that she'll say no to things, but she'll pick what things she wants, her and her manager, of what to prioritize, or what maybe they're the most excited for in that moment.
So maybe one day we will get Astronaut Elvira.
Right, exactly. The universe is the limit. I'd love it. I would love if Elvira was expansive as Barbie. I know that that's, not everybody's dream, but it is fun, like you said, because it goes with her character. It is something Elvira would do. She would dress up as like, one of those kind of new wave sci-fi from the 60s, like the silver foil, Lost in Space,
well, and she's such a comedic,
pointy.
yeah, but she's such a comedic character that, like,
Yeah,
again, comedy, like, it all lends itself. And the fact that she had such input on this from a development stage, that it is not just again something that one could say, well, Elvira wouldn't wear that. Like, go talk to fucking Cassandra then, because
I honestly wonder if some people didn't even realize that she filmed a commercial for us for this.
Yeah.
So when people are like, oh, Elvira would never agree to this, that's her in the commercial, holding it, talking about it, endorsing it, supporting it, advertising it, coming up with, the human rights campaign to donate to. It's like, come on. So, and it's really cool when she gives ideas. It's really neat. Like the flag and like other things I can't talk about yet, but super cool.
But like the flag.
But like the flag.
while we're talking about ideas and accessories and whatever, the inclusion of her memoir is also
Yeah,
pretty dope.
yeah. That was
And
another
and
one
and
that
that requires participation from someone.
yes. So that was another accessory that I really, really, really wanted. And we had talked about um earlier on in the development, would we have to recreate the book cover using our figure, which also would be have been really fun. And uh would we have to make up a book? And when I pitched the idea of this, and I explained where the idea came from her book, and the because we didn't want a Cassandra figure. That's something that she's big on, is there's a blurred line, but there's still a line.
Okay.
And there's a difference between Cassandra Peterson and Elvira. And the blurred line with this, saying Cassandra Peterson is queer, we've never actually established whether the character of Elvira is queer, just a queer supporter. Um, the what helped was the fact that this was the book, and though the
Mhm.
book is based on Cassandra Peterson's life, it is an Elvira story. Um, so I really wanted, sorry, long story short, I really wanted the book as an accessory, and Cassandra and her team, as wonderful as they are, reached out to Hatchet Books and got permission to use the actual cover art of the book, Yours Cruelly. So we have an exact replica, front and back. It wasn't like we had to recreate it, as we do, as NECA does with many accessories, where we kind of fudge it and
Mhm.
rename something so it's getting around parody laws. This is an actual recreation of the book, front and back. And so special thanks to Hatchet Books and the um, Amanda Kane, who did the actual cover of the book. She's the artist that did the cover of the book, so Amanda Kane gets a shout out. And even on the bottom of the box, as we do, we like to credit our artists. We have a special thanks at the bottom. Yours Cruelly appears courtesy of Hatchet Book Group Inc. Book jacket designed by Amanda Kane. So I'm really happy. So we did call her out by name. So they get a nice little thank you for graciously allowing us the use of their book.
Yeah, and gracious of you to include the shout out on the box itself.
I like to give.
Um, I'm really glad you brought up the idea of the line and the blurred line, because one of the things I mentioned in my review is that not only is this an Elvira figure, but at least to me, the fact that it includes her memoir and the fact that she in real life, not Elvira the character, is queer, I'm like, you're kind of getting a Cassandra figure as well as an Elvira figure, even though she considers there to be a line. Like in my heart, the the I see the blur in this figure a little bit. You know what I mean? And I respect
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And it's funny, like how you said it. It's very meta, which
Yeah.
if you know me at all, I just love kind of that fourth wall genre. And Cassandra is Elvira and Elvira is Cassandra. And there's a difference between them, but it's like a Venn diagram. And working within that blurred line is always fun for me because it fits that genre of comedy that I like. And it's almost like this is a figure of Cassandra dressing as Elvira, playing Elvira for a pride thing,
Right.
uh, acknowledging that there is a person who wrote this book. It's very Inception. And when we talk about the blurred lines, one of my points was in her second film, Haunted Hills. Uh, there's a moment where she's talking to the love interest, and moving his mouth, but it's dubbed for comedic purposes. And she turns to the camera and looks directly at the camera, and she's like, how does he do that? And she breaks the fourth wall. And that was like my in. I was like, the fourth wall is broken. So it's just a really fun play on, is it Cassandra? Is it Elvira? Well, it's both. It's just her breaking the fourth wall. Is Deadpool in the movies acknowledges that it's Ryan Reynolds and that Wolverine is Hugh Jackman, you know? So it's that same kind of thing.
Right.
And I love that.
Can I tell you one of my favorite newer ones of that? Is in Pee-wee's Big Holiday, when Joe Manganiello is listing off the movies he's been in. And he's like, this movie, no, this movie, no. And he's like, Magic Mike. He's like, you'd think, but no.
See?
Like, right on.
Awesome.
One other thing that you mentioned that I appreciate is the fact that Cassandra is queer. They've never acknowledged whether Elvira is or not, but she can still support, or does support, not can, does, which is why even if you want to say the character is hetero, she can still support by wearing a rainbow outfit. Like, you don't have to be gay to support and encourage and uplift people during Pride. So still would wear a rainbow outfit.
Yep. The character of Elvira has openly supported the queer community and has been an ally for decades. So the character of Elvira continues to. She could be an ally. She can be queer. She can be anything she wants to be, because she's Elvira Mistress
Barbie.
Right.
This is where it starts. There's 4 8-inch figures. You're gonna look back on this in 10 years, and there's 20 more figures about how Elvira can be anything.
I hope so. I'd love it. I'd love it.
I need the licensing crossovers to happen, which I know there's gonna be a lot of legal red tape, but you know, I need Freddy Elvira. I need Elvira holding a Jason mask, you know.
Right.
Xenomorph Elvira. No, that's too much, but still be fun. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Like I've said it before, I've said it again, as a fan of NECA stuff, getting to sit down with you and talk about this stuff means the world to me. I really appreciate you giving me your time.
Thank you. It's fun to talk about, and it's fun to just spread, especially when it's a good word. I like to spread the word. So this one is particularly special because not only am I able to share what went into it, but you know, it's an important one for the times, for the people, for a cause, for kind of showing the world where evolution is going and where the company is going. You know, this would not get approved if people didn't support it. So, you know, I'm grateful. I fought. I'm not gonna pretend, and I'm not gonna, you know, shoo my credit under the carpet. I definitely fought for this one. But it's really great to have leadership who hears the fight. It's really great. Randy was on board from day one. He kind of let out when I showed him the concept, he kind of let out a little giggle. And you know, at first you don't know how someone's going to take it, and you don't know what that giggle is. Like, is this stupid? Blah blah blah. And he like let out a little giggle, and like a second went by as he's looking at it, he's like, this is just so great. So that was really awesome. So it was a giggle because this is an Elvira thing. He's like, this is totally like Elvira. Pitch it to her. So
if he gets it, and then if Cassandra gets it, because obviously the fans, you instantly look at it, we get it. So like, but getting it from I don't want to say a corporate level, but from a managerial level, finding the bridge between the audience and the actual people who have to spend the money creatively to make it happen. Right on. Yeah. And you were listing all those things. I would just say also, it's nice to see a company make rainbow themed Pride stuff that isn't just put a bird on it.
Yes. Yeah. Because it does happen. And mind you, I'm not particularly against, and I respect why some queer people are against it. I do not respect when straight people are against it. You have no say in it, so shut up. That's my PSA.
The more you know.
Right. So I understand when queer people are not fans of just slap a rainbow on it. I'm not particularly against it just because I like the accessibility to
Sure.
merchandise for people. You tend to forget how difficult it used to be to find anything that kind of represented the queer community in a positive light. So I'm happy when I see the rainbow things everywhere. I think it's like if I was more supportive of where I live, I akin it to, Memorial Day, 4th of July, when you see the red, white, and blues everywhere. I feel like this is if I were a sports fan and I was walking into Target and I saw, all the Knicks gear, um, it's the same thing. It's just fun. It doesn't really mean anything besides fun and representation and
Mhm.
love and happiness. I want to
Celebration,
exactly what the love.
support, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
so but I do understand the importance of giving back, and I didn't want to just slap a rainbow on it for the sheer fact of it. There's enough of that stuff out there. I personally wanted to do something. I wanted to do something and get involved. And I'm just grateful that I had the platform, and I'm grateful that it was something that corporate agreed to, and that the deal worked out, and especially that Cassandra was so on board. So yeah, it's just a good feeling. It's a good
yeah.
feeling.
Yeah. I mean, let me clarify just for anyone out there who cares. I'm not necessarily against the put a bird on it approach to everything, because I do think maybe some people are just like, hey, look, I want a rainbow tumbler and now I can get a rainbow tumbler. Like, good for you, you know.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
but I just get concerned when it becomes a little too cynical corporate. That's the side of it where I'm like, can we
yeah.
exploit this by just throwing a rainbow on a tumbler because it's easy for us? If
Yes.
you yourself found the right rainbow shirt or scarf and you feel really happy in it, fucking good for you. I love it.
Right.
Just
But when a corporation will just make their logo rainbow, but not
right.
actually take any sort of stance.
Or also, and either not take a stance, or you're like, oh wait, you actually donate to people who actively vote against like you don't get
Yeah,
to put, yeah. So that's
yeah.
where it gets all shitty and I become instantly cynical. But rainbow away, good for you, good for you all. But I will say this though before we go, because I don't want to forget this. I have a question about the paint.
Yes.
I this stupid question, is this hand painted? Are these all hand painted, or is this like a machine that goes burp, 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 burp? Because
So
the eye makeup is fucking awesome.
thank you, and thank Jeff Trapp, uh, who is our lead painter and also one of our digital painters. So what he has done is he will paint the paint master, and then he creates digital files for DIJ, for direct inkjet, which is what you're seeing on a lot of action figures. Everybody has a different name for it. Mattel's WWE called it True Effects. Star Wars The Black Series called it Photo Real Finish. We had called it AI before AI. So it's anytime you have that direct inkjet technology
Mhm.
on the face, hyper realistic. So Jeff will create those files based on the paint masters, and specifically with Elvira, because he knows I'm very particular about her makeup. He does a paint master, we photograph it, and then I go into Procreate and I digitally kind of just tweak her makeup to be kind of that very specific. Elvira has a very particular eye makeup,
Mhm.
and then
Oh yeah, it's
I
very
send that. Yeah,
it's very
it's very.
draggy in the way it extends beyond the
Oh
eye. Yeah.
yes. Oh yeah, and it's got like the white on the inside. Yeah. So and three lashes, blue, purple, blue. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Purple under. Yeah. Um, beauty
Sorry, but
mark on the right side. Uh, so
you
I'll
send
do a
that off.
draw over. Yeah, and then I send it back to Jeff, and he creates the digital file, kind of based on that amalgamation of our two faces, and that's how you get Elvira's expression. So they are digital.
What, digital has gotten, I remember, I forget when it started. I'm going to ballpark 5 years ago when I saw it on Black Series. And if someone's got like, unless you know more, if this specific year, I don't know, maybe more than
US based has only been around for about that. Yeah.
Now, I feel like had this been 5 years ago, no shade to Mattel or Hasbro, but like the eye makeup as the purple, there would have, when you hold it, you can see the little dots
Pixelated.
where the color fades away and it's just like a pixelization effect.
Yeah.
I looked at like, I don't know, the new like Padme figure, and I'm like what a difference 5 years makes.
Yeah.
Like Hasbro's gotten so much better at what I call it paint printing, because I don't know what else to call
it. It's what it is. You're printing.
Yeah.
You're printing the face on.
Yeah, but like this, no blowing smoke. It doesn't even look like it's paint printed at all. It's great.
I mean, I can't take all the credit for it, but
it's precise.
On
like
behalf of NECA, thank you.
The lips, the eyes, the eyeball plate, like it's great. Good job, Jeff. Good job, you.
Jeff's pretty great at his job.
So yeah, there it is. Thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun getting to hear all about this.
Thank you. Can we do the shameless plug?
Yeah.
Awesome. Can it be like a commercial? Like, get yours now. But no,
from
obviously
the NECA website.
Yeah. If you want to support, it's available at all retail, but if you order it from the NECAstore.com during Pride Month, you are helping give back to the queer community, and we are donating to the Human Rights Campaign Foundation. So the NECAstore.com or wherever you love finding your NECA stuff. I'm not sure what big box retailers picked it up, but I know online retailers like Big Bad Entertainment Earth, Toy Wiz, whoever your local mom and pop shops are, have the opportunity to order this. So you can always ask them as well.
And you know what? I love supporting small businesses, and I understand if some people also just shipping prices or whatever versus like driving to their local store and hoping to find it, but
it's also free shipping on the NECA store.
That's the big
Sorry,
one.
did I beat you to that one?
No, yeah, I know.
I forgot about it, but
no, but that was the big thing for me, was like, well, I want to order it from NECA because I like to know that my money is going to help something. I don't want to say charitable; it's not the right word, but you know what I mean. Helping, human rights. But
it's a charity.
It's honestly, as like a consumer, the free shipping was huge.
Yeah,
huge.
Good. I can't believe I'm going to do it. No, I'm kidding. I have to give credit. Our CEO, when I went through our sales line plan, was like, what are we offering? And that's when I explained, the organization and the donation and Cassandra's involvement. And I said, we're just doing the HRC involvement on our direct store. It would be too complicated to involve other retailers. So just direct through us. And he said, offer them free shipping just for for Pride Month as well. Like, okay, you all heard that, right? And we ran with it, and he was, he was on board with it. So it all around, it's really great. You see the comments like, oh, they just want to make money. Well, yeah, who doesn't?
No. Well,
but this one is like really like everybody involved kind of had an ingredient in there and really made it possible. So
I don't expect you to give me too much of an answer for this, because it might be too businessy behind the curtain. But my knee-jerk response to that, though, is that shipping's free for us, but that doesn't necessarily mean
we pay for it.
You're yeah. So if a figure costs X amount and you're taking a hit basically of what you could be making back off this figure. So that's again less profit driven.
Yes.
Yeah, like wow.
We are not, I'm not at liberty to say, but yes, it's very obvious that we are not making a profit on this the way we would make a profit on literally anything else we make. So,
yeah. So bravo.
I think it's like $10 for every figure we're donating, on top of whatever calculated shipping cost would be. We're eating that as well. So
wow. So order from the website, everybody. It's the nice thing to do.
The nice thing to do. Support your local gay this month.
Yeah. There you go. Who knows? I'm so used to on my movie show going, hey, until next time. I don't know when the next time I'm going to talk to you is. The next time you design a fun toy, hopefully you'll be back.
Always.
But thank you for joining me. And thank you all for watching.
Thank you.